What's going on, Scorpio? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having an amazing week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, shares, donations. Your support is just phenomenal, Scorpio, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy your higher self has brought you here. You are in for an amazing journey. Now, the theme of the monthly spread this week is going to be a monthly check-in, Scorpio. We've made business, we've self-growth, we've loved, and now we're just kind of see where we're at with this whole thing. Hopefully we're not a hot mess at the end of this. Just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Oh, let's put you there. Gems, feeling lovely. Just good energy all around here, Scorpio. Now, with this spread, I'm going to be pulling 9 cards, and I'll be doing clarifications as need be, and of course a good old surprise card at the end, Scorpio, you know, just because I like you so much. And in case you all were curious, I'm using the Tarot of the Divine deck, and I've included a link for this deck and other decks that I like using down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, Scorpio. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here, which is going to represent your current self. So, hiya, self. Where's Scorpio at currently on their journey here? Let's see what you've been dealing with, Scorpio. Boy. Hopefully, wow. I tell you, it's something with this deck, man. Normally shuffling's real, but you know how it is. But good thing for, well, Scorpio, you got the 8 of Cups in reverse here. And so I feel like with this, Scorpio, maybe some of us have been, I was like, let me get focused. Because with the 8 of Cups, you know, this is a card of about, like, you know, letting things go and being in a place of where, you know, where we see things that are no longer serving us a purpose, you know, and it's time to move forward. You know, anything that's like lowering your vibrations here. Because with the 8 of Cups, you know, it could be one of those things of where you've built this thing around whatever this is that we're looking like here, you know, your current self. If it's, let's say if we have to let go, let's say if we're trying to quit smoking, for example, you know, it's one of those things. It's like, if we're having troubles letting go, Scorpio, and believe me, if that's, for example, if that's the vice, listen, you know you're in a judgment-free zone here, been there. But the thing is, like, if we give those things those type of power, then that's, you know, then they're going to drag us along on our journey as opposed to us being in control here. So I feel like if we're trying to do, you know, focus on some, you know, positive behaviors here, you know, trying to improve ourselves, you know, and we might be letting go of some things might have turned out to be a little harder than we had anticipated. You know, it may be time, Scorpio, to evaluate what that is. Because here's the thing. Like, if you're trying to quit smoking, let's say, that's just because I brought that up as an example. If we're trying to quit smoking, but we're still hanging around a bunch of smokers, nothing against the smokers, but that's just going to make it harder, you know, because the temptation's there, where it's like, you know, you should be, you know, you want to be strong in this stuff here, but it's the same kind of thing too with any type of whatever this is looking like. You know, it could be with alcohol, with food, with sex, with drugs, you know, whatever that's, anything that is just like lowering our vibration, Scorpio. This is, I feel like, really every day should be, you know, we should should be the focus to improve. But let this month, you know, be like, take some steps towards that thing, you know. If we find, you know, if we find that kicking it alone isn't working, you know, whatever it is, maybe we need to maybe think about joining like a group, you know. And I get, you know, I'm not, you know, with where, you know, things are at, you know, maybe we can do like an online group, or you know, maybe, oh, I know one, and I don't know why smokers keep coming out, but if that's one thing, because I know that's a pretty common one, you know, to try to quit in the new year. when I think about, there's an app that I like using, and that could be another thing that you do too. You know, I have like have an app. I think it's been maybe a little over a year or so, but it keeps track of, like, it keeps tally of like how many days, hours, minutes, you know, that you haven't had like a cigarette or something. Like, it's really cool. But maybe doing even something like finding little tools like that to maybe help you, assist you along this thing, Scorpio. You know, there's so many things at our disposal. So, you know, avail yourself of that stuff here. So, you know, I feel like, you know, this, whatever this is that you're trying to let go here, doesn't have to have such a hold on us here. You know, we can get out of that, Scorpio. So, whew, that's a lot to unpack there, but you know, that's a lot to deal with, you know, letting things go. So I get it, Scorpio. If this is something that's resonating with you, you know, be compassionate with yourself, you know, because that's something too that sometimes I feel like if we beat ourselves too much, then we get to this place where we turn back to whatever we're trying to let go, and then it's just like we're just getting into a weird cycle again. So let's get to your second card here, which is going to be the theme of the month. So, higher self. What is the theme of the month looking like for Scorpio here? Let's see what Scorpio's got to look forward to this month. You know, because I really feel like there's some growth that's coming from this, Scorpio. Absolutely. You got the Seven of Coins here, Scorpio. And I feel like with this, you know, the Seven of Coins is a card of investment, you know, and I feel like it's not even just investments when it comes to like your money or your resource or whatever, because that's what the Pentacles or the coins have to deal with, obviously. But it's also, I feel like too, you know, where are we investing our energy? You know, if we're investing in things that are, again, that are lowering our vibration, you know, that aren't promoting this self-growth here, then it's just like, what are we doing? You know, and it's just like, and not even just what are we doing, why are we doing it? You know, what is it that what is it in life that has thrown this, that's got this imbalance here, that we need this thing to kind of cope with it? You know, if that, you know what I mean, Scorpio? So I feel like the theme of the month is just kind of being mindful of where you're channeling your energy here, you know, and just honestly, you know, just here going forward, you know, really just trying to be present, you know, and because that's something too, when you're trying to kick a habit or an addiction or anything like that, I feel like, you know, really being mindful in this, you know, yeah, and just really, yeah, just being aware of where we're putting our energy, and I'm too, you know, where we're investing in people as well, because it might be time, Scorpio. I'm not saying, you know, cut people out of your life here, but I feel like it's more so about establishing boundaries, and you know, and you don't have to be aggressive about it. You know, it's one of those things. It's just like, hey, I'm at this place where I'm trying to accomplish X. How do you feel about that? And if they support you, dope. That's someone to bring along the soul tribe. And if they're not, it's just like, well, hey, I need, as of right now, I need to remove myself from whatever this is, you know, that's not promoting my growth. We'll check back in, you know, at a different time, you know, like when I'm at a different vibratory rating, you know, you gotta just trust the universe, Scorpio. If things are meant to, if, you know, that person, you know, is meant to be back in your orbit, they totally will be, but you gotta take care of yourself first in this thing, you know, because if you're not in good shape, it doesn't matter how everybody else is doing. So, you know, you gotta think about you first. You know, make sure that we're investing, being mindful of where we're investing our energy and our time, Scorpio. So let's get to your third card here. We're moving along here. The third card is going to be a key goal to pursue. So higher self, what's a key goal for Scorpio to pursue at this time? Let's see. What are some things that you could be pursuing, Scorpio? Interesting. You got the Three of Cups here in reverse, Scorpio. And so I feel like with this, you know, that totally makes sense. You know, maybe something for, you know, for some of you, I feel like maybe we should, I feel like not even we should, I can't tell you what to do, Scorpio, but I feel like it could benefit you if we're, you know, if we're resonating with this thing, you know, we're having trouble, you know, with, trouble with whatever this this thing is, this 8 of Cups, that we're trying to move past. Maybe it might be time to kind of reach out to people, find those, find those people that we can invest in. I was telling Aries this, I really feel like this is definitely a month of collaboration. So, and not even just in the sense of like just for like business. This could be a time too to maybe even when I was saying like reestablish, set some boundaries, it may be even time too to like kind of like maybe let some people in, maybe remove, maybe like let some people closer to your into your realm, Scorpio. Because the three, I don't know if I even said this, the 3 of Cups is a card of like celebration, family, get-togethers and friends and whatnots. That's yeah, that's 3 of Cups energy here, and I feel like the focus is going to really kind of maybe getting yourself a good support system. Whether that be, and and if our friends are in good shape, maybe if we're not able to talk to them all the time, or however that's looking, maybe looking to maybe getting like a little, like maybe getting a pet, little companion friend, a little cat, a little dog, maybe some fish, turtle, maybe some plants. Maybe plants are your jam, maybe just something where I feel like you can get some like nurturing energy. I feel like that's really what is needed, especially when you're going through like some 8 of Cups here too. Because when I said that, that's the 3 of Cups. This is Mercury and Cancer here, and I feel like again too, while you're going through this thing, Mercury is about communication, and again Cancer is about that nurturing energy here. That motherly energy. Talk to yourself when you're in your internal dialogue, or excuse me, monologue. Be kind to yourself, be compassionate, and that's good things will come from that, Scorpio. So I feel like that's where I'll leave that there, So it could just maybe be a time to just like kind of lean on someone a little bit, find someone who you can trust, and definitely kind of allow yourself to be vulnerable in this thing here. I know that can be difficult for water signs. My son's in Cancer, so. Use your intuition, Scorpio. Just like we might be a little extra sensitive than the other elements. We're also very intuitive, so we can feel out who has our best interest at heart here, and who's going to raise our vibrations up. Ooh, okay, let's get to your 4th card here. Which is going to be an obstacle to overcome. As if this wasn't, as if we haven't been throwing obstacles at you. But higher self, what are some obstacles that Scorpio might need to overcome at this time? Let's see, what are some things that you might need to avoid, Scorpio? Oh, interesting. You got the Queen of Wands in reverse here. And so I feel like an obstacle to overcome is just like really where we're channeling our energy, kind of like what I was saying earlier with like the 7 of Coins. Is your obstacle matches your theme here, because the Queen of Wands, the thing about her is where I like her energy in the sense of, like, because this is Aries energy. I like her energy in the sense it's like, when she's going out and getting, and starting something, she takes that initiative. So I feel like, that's going to be an obstacle. One is going to really just take that first step in trying to tackle whatever this is, however this is embodying for you, weight loss, workout routines, eating habits, whatever. One, taking the step towards that thing. 2, compassion. 3, sustaining that. Because the thing I will say, I feel like with the Queen of Wands, is that sometimes she could be possibly a little gung-ho in the sense of like, she's just like, go. When something makes it, she feels it and she goes. And where that is, I admire that, but it's, we want to be mindful along the way. We don't want to miss the lessons here. We don't want to try to force the healing, if that makes sense, because sometimes, we might skip some things, and then that stuff will kind of fill back up, fill that void that we've, and then it manifests in a different way here, Scorpio. So I feel like the thing is to really kind of understand how to, where to focus your energy at in this whole thing. I really feel like that's going to be the name of the game for your for this Queen of Wands. But let's get a little more clarification on that. Just I feel like there might be a little extra nugget in there. Higher self, can we clarify the Queen of Wands, please? Yeah, let's get a little bit more on that, Scorpio. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, the Queen of Wands is clarified by the Hermit, the Ace of Cups, and the Magician, all in reverse. So, Scorpio, I feel like we need to do some soul searching, because that's what the Hermit is about. Get in touch with really with how we feel and all these things. That's what the Ace of Cups is doing, and then just start with the Magician. I feel like it's, you know, finding some skills or finding some ways to either cope or, you know, just kind of deal with this thing, finding some healthy ways of managing this this Eight of Cups energy here. You know, I feel like that's going to be your obstacle for the month. So yeah, so I guess there's not really a lot of nuggets in the sense of just like meditate on this thing. You know, yeah, but you just, you know, Scorpio, everyone's journey is going to look different. You know, this is not something you can compare, you know, yours to the next Scorpios or to Cancers or Aries or whatever. You know, it's all going to be unique to you here. So, you know, you'll know when the healing starts. Everything will just start lining into place there. And you know what? While I'm talking about that, let's see how they're going to line into place, because the fifth card is going to be a major accomplishment. So, higher self. What's a major accomplishment for Scorpio? We've meditated, we've let things go. What's going on here? Absolutely, Scorpio, because look at you, Queen of Coins, and now you've gotten the resources from all of this stuff here, you know, because that's where the Queen of Coins is about for me. She's the type that it's, when she has some healing to do and she has to pick up skills to learn how to strengthen herself, you know, through whatever this thing is here, she's going to go out there and do it. She's going to take the steps and get that thing here. You know, the Queen of Coins is a very, 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 I really like the Queen of Coins. She's really been, her and I, we've been bonding over the last really kind of month or so. And I think about her too, when I think about this major accomplishment, this is not even just going to be a major accomplishment for you, Scorpio. I feel like this is going to be something that once you really get a grip of this thing and really kind of, you know, get some skills and really kind of refine how you deal with this stuff here, that's going to give you the tools to help other people do this stuff here. You know, when I was talking about that compassion, and when you see someone who's going through this thing, you know, it'll allow that empathy, you know, that you can really just kind of like, listen, I've trust me, I've been there, and here's how I did it, you know, and then you can provide some tools, you know, at least, you know, you can, again, it's just like, I can't tell you what to do, you can't force another person what to do, but the thing we could do is at least provide the tools and the motivation and the, just the things to help, you know, so, yeah, I like that. I feel like this is the win that we definitely need. You know, some skills for sure here. So let's get to your sixth card here. We're moving along. I dig it. Which is going to be what to avoid. So higher self, what are some things that Scorpio should avoid at this time? Let's see what are some see what are some things you should be avoiding at this time, Scorpio. Oh, yeah? Okay. Interesting. You got the Devil in reverse here. And you know what? That is very interesting, Scorpio, because I'm normally with the Devil in reverse, that's like, I feel like it would be like, you know, you tackling your vices, you know, you're facing them head on, you've gotten over this thing. But I'm wondering with this Devil is if what we maybe need to avoid is ignoring the problem, if that makes sense. You know, I feel like sometimes we can get into this place of where we try to take maybe whatever issue, let's say for example with drinking, because drinking is such a celebrated thing in our culture, and I'm talking like American culture. You see ads and stuff all over the place for it. But then, alcoholism is like a big problem. And I'm wondering if, the thing to avoid is if maybe we should avoid like making light of whatever we're dealing with here. Because, sometimes, I find like the habit or, because I used to be a bartender and I would see people, kind of sitting around and, they'll say like, oh, I'm probably an alcoholic. I've been drinking way too much this week, or blah blah blah, and then shots, and then you know what I mean. And then they're like, but let's get another round. I'll deal with my alcohol. I'll deal with that problem. Later. I hope that makes sense, Scorpio, because it's just I feel like it's if we make light of this thing here in the sense of like we kind of like it's almost like we're ignoring it in a little bit, then it's just going to become a whole thing, Scorpio. But let's get a little bit more on that devil there. Higher self, can we clarify the devil, please? Let's get a little bit more on that, Scorpio. Yeah, that's interesting there. Let's see what's going on with that. Oh, yeah, that's very interesting, Scorpio. You got the Tower in reverse. To clarify, you got the Nine of Swords and then the Nine of Cups. So I feel like with this, yeah, it's kind of like I was saying with both of this stuff here, because I feel like if we ignore, because that's what I'm getting with this, like what I was talking about the devil, I feel like if we ignore this type of thing here or maybe make too light of it, it's going to get to a weird place here. Now we're resisting change. And then how I feel like, how I feel about when we start resisting change here, then things start festering in our world. It'll start to bleed out here. And then we get to this Nine of Swords place where it's like everything, we're at work where it's a nightmare, we're jogging, it's a nightmare, when we're sleeping, it's a nightmare. That's Nine of Swords energy. And that's going to affect our Nine of Cups here. It's going to get us to the place of where we're not feeling our fulfillment and getting our happiness here. So we want to avoid things that aren't making us happy, that are lowering our vibrations here, any kind of behaviors and it's a tricky game here, Scorpio. That's and listen, if this is some sort of trifecta, drug, sex, alcohol, well, I guess you know what I mean. Let's just throw overeating, gambling in the mix, whatever vice this is. Water sign to water sign. When we get in this stuff here, especially like Nine of Swords and things like that, take it as a resonates, Scorpio, but sometimes water signs can really get in it, and really kind of wallow in it, and then it gets kind of harder. The waters get murky. It's harder to find our fulfillment. We start maybe painting false images of happiness here. Telling ourselves that we're happy when we're really Nine of Swords here. Because we're ignoring stuff. It gets in this weird. It's like we're almost like playing a trick on ourselves, Scorpio. So just keep that in mind. I hope that makes sense. Let's get to your seventh card here, which is going to be what to embrace. So, higher self. What are some things that Scorpio should embrace? Let's see what are some, let's check that out, Scorpio. Absolutely! Sorry. No, I'm not, because it's the Empress. Never sorry for the Empress, because this is... Embrace that loving energy, because that's the Empress. The Empress wants you and everyone to feel their best, and not, it really, like, not to look your best. It wants you to get, she wants you to get your abundance. She's all about self-care. Scorpio. Embrace the Empress. The Empress wants you to get well. She's like, that's honestly, that's really beautiful. and I know that may seem like I'm doing, like I may be being a little extra with this, but I really feel like it's about embrace that Empress, Scorpio. Because this is you. This can be you, and this has been you in the past. You've been an empress before, many times. I know this. And so I feel like it's just, yeah, we need to, in all this thing, take care of yourself, Scorpio. Yeah, like I feel like I thought there might have been more with that, but really, Empress, just make sure you're really, I really just double, triple down just on just making sure we're being compassionate through ourselves. Because if really, Scorpio, if we're dealing with an addiction type thing, you got Devil, Tower in reverse here, you know, Hermit in reverse. We're in some weird territory here, and you know, it's not to say like I'm not trying to scare you or anything, or saying like you'll get too far gone or anything like that, Scorpio. You know, and the thing too, you know, as you know, I know how this might sound, but it's like wherever you're at in your journey, you're exactly where you need to be. Higher self has got you lined up here for a reason. There's a lesson, you know, that's meant to come out of this thing. There's strength waiting to be discovered here. We just have to channel our Empress energy and find it. You know, that there's something that you're trying to ascend out of this thing, Scorpio. So just Empress, absolutely, all day. You know what? I'm gonna put Empress in your face. That's thought I was kidding. Nope, Empress, absolutely. Let's get to your eighth card here, which is where you can find support, Empress. But let's get another card on that. Higher self. Don't be obnoxious, girl. The Empress and I do the most. So settle in, Scorpio. She came out here because clearly you needed a laugh, and you know we if you need it, her and I are about to bring it. All right, girl. Let's tone it back a little bit. Oh, never mind. You got the Emperor here, Scorpio. Okay. Where can we find support? Scorpio, this is, I know I just said this is you here, but this is you here. You need, like, because really, Scorpio, and believe me, having been there and been, Scorpio, when I say I've been there, I was in it. But no one can tell you, and when I mean no one can tell you what to do if we're dealing with any type of addiction or anything like that, no one can tell you what to do. And depending on where you're at in it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because no one can't. They can't tell you nothing because you don't want to hear nothing. And I'm not coming at you, Scorpio. It's just that's usually the theme. You know, it's going to be one of those things. No one can tell you what to do. You're going to have to want to help yourself first. You know, because that's the Emperor. And people, you have so many. You do have a lot of. You have a bit of court cards here. So I feel like there are people who definitely want to help you here, but it's got to be something that it doesn't matter if we're not willing to rise up to the occasion here. So, and that's what the Emperor is about. And two, Scorpio, the reason I emphasize it, you know, that I emphasize Empress so hard in here is that in order for the Emperor to make the most out of this energy to move forward here, the Emperor needs to prep. You know, if the Emperor just goes out just all hot and crazy, because this is Aries energy here. If it goes out all hot and crazy, then it's going to be up in the air how this is going to go down here. But if we put some compassion on ourselves, we realize we want to heal, and that we want more, we want to get out of this funk here. When we get in a better place mentally, then we can Emperor. We can rise up to the occasion here. We can channel that Aries energy and go get it. More Aries energy here, Scorpio. So yeah, that's really, and I know how that's gonna sound. That sucks, you know, where it's just like, oh come on, I can't get any help anywhere. Scorpio, you can get all the help you want to, if that's the response that I'm getting. But it is, when it comes to healing like this is it all starts within. It all starts with Hermit. You know, that's where you got to find your light first in all this thing here, and so that we can shine this thing again. So, yeah, wowza. Let's let these two have some space here. So, because we got a lot to think about here, Scorpio. Let's bring this thing home here. And you know what, Scorpio? If there's someone, while we're taking care of ourselves here, if you do have an emperor, if you have someone who's embodying this energy here, talk to this person. You know, don't, if this person wants to help you, don't shut this person out, because this is a divine counterpart here. You know, this is like a partner, let's say. I feel like this person, it could be, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a lover. It can be a friend, a family member, anyone who's embodying this emperor, anyone who has decided to meet you with this thing. You know, let them in. You know, if they, you know, if you know, like. Let's get to your last card here. I hope that makes sense. And you know what, too, Scorpio, I hadn't thought about this as well, because I'm putting this whole thing like this is all on you. Maybe you're trying to help someone. Maybe you're trying to help your divine counterpart move on through this thing here. Maybe someone you know that's close in your circle is struggling. You know, that's something that, you know, and I didn't think about that too. And Scorpio, the same thing still applies. You know, you have to decide. It's the same thing. This person is going to have to rise up to the occasion. You know, they're going to have to emperor in this thing too. But then, this really is. It's going to be the balance for these two things here is going to be key. You know, when you're dealing with this energy here, it's about tackling this stuff here, taking a step, and then healing, taking another step, healing. You know, it's a dance. You know, this when you get to that type of stuff here. So let's bring it home. Let's get to your last card here, which is going to be some advice or encouragement. So higher self, what's some advice or encouragement for Scorpio at this time? Let's see what higher self may have to say about this. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? Absolutely, Seven of Swords. And you know what? Let's switch back over. Oh, maybe. There we go. Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is like what we were. That's our Queen of Coins accomplishment here. Is getting skills to deal with this thing here, because that's, for me, that's what the Seven of Swords is about. You know, this is about. You know, finding ways for us, finding healthy ways of coping with this stuff here. You know, deep ways that are going to raise our vibration here, Scorpio, and it's it's going to serve you in the long run. You know, when I think about like little exercises for different ways of for quitting and things like that. You know, it may seem silly in the moment, but it's like, if what you're doing is not working, then what do you got to lose? If it doesn't work, then you know it doesn't work, and then you could just keep it moving. But the more tools that you have in your tool belt to deal with this thing, I personally feel like the better. You know, like it's better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them. You know what I mean? So I'll leave that there, Scorpio. That's heavy. that is. And Scorpio, for my whole being, it's whether you're trying to help someone through this thing or you're going through it. I get it, and I don't want to see even, because I was almost going to say even more so Empress, but there's a balance. There's a balance, because you can only Empress so much in this thing. At some point, you got to take action. I normally, you know how I feel about, if you've been following me for a while, you know how I feel about the Empress. But it's got to be, there's got to be more. You know, it's got to be compassion, action, healing, compassion, action. You know. And I know the Emperor is more than that, but he really is. It's that thing to rise up. And you know what, too? The Emperor is there to deliver the harsh truths. You know, sometimes we need to be real with ourselves. You know, depending on where you are at, or maybe this person is at. You know, if we're getting to this place where it's like we're hitting our head against the wall, you may be almost getting at your wits' end there. Scorpio, don't put yourself in a situation. If we're taking care of someone, don't force this thing. You know, you got to think about yourself in this situation. If it's not working out, it's time to put some boundaries up. And it's just like, hey, I want to help you, but I don't know how to help you in this when you're in this state here. So we got to either do something about this. Yeah, I'm not sure what other point I had with this with you, Emperor. What else were we trying to get across here? That might be it. But I guess I'll for real leave it there. So Scorpio, if that resonated with you, that made sense, you know, give it a thumbs up, you know. And really, if we know someone who's going through this thing, this is tough. It's tough, and it's but know that it doesn't have to remain tough. You know, I feel there's if it's you or if this person, I do, believe me, I understand. I was in it deep for a long time. When I say the devil and I were good friends, we were good friends, and it's. I was like, what was that whole point? Let this be the sign. Let me be the sign that you can get on the other end of this thing. And there's more than just me. I'm not the only person who's gotten over this stuff here. I'm sure there are hundreds of thousands of people who get over this stuff here. But it's just like, know that anyone can struggle with this thing. It can happen to the best of us, Scorpio. And that's just to remind the universe, reminding us that we're all the best. But sometimes we just need a little reinforcement from the devil here. So share that thing that whole thing. Share this if you know someone who's going through this stuff here, because that really is a tough journey, or at least it can be if you feel like you're in it alone. Because I feel like people are so quick to just like there's zero compassion when it comes to it. I feel like sometimes, you know, when you get into the addiction realm, it's just like, get better, and it's just like, what the F, like oh, it's just really upsetting for me sometimes. It's unfortunate. I feel like sometimes how addiction gets treated. You know, you got to look out for you, but it's about finding that person as much help as they can until you can't no more. You know, I'm getting back into your reading here. Subscribe, or did we already do? No, subscribe, hit that bell button. You'll get notified when I release videos each week. I'm going to get better about Facebook. I got some things I'm cooking up right now, and I'm doing a lot of studying. It's a good time, Scorpio, so stay tuned for that. Nothing too crazy, but my attention's a little divided right now. Last thing, if you are, because, you know, maybe if you have cancer in your placements, or maybe if you're dealing with a cancer, check out the Chariot and Friends. I post videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans. All that stuff's in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card here so I can get you out of here. Okay. You got the Ace of Swords in reverse here. And things may not be clear right now. You know, depending on how deep you're in it. Or maybe your person's in it, things may not make sense. You know, it may feel like it may just like never end. But Scorpio, it does end. You know, but this is going to be part of the work here. This one really is the big one. Hermit. Sitting with this thing and finding out what that is, and that's going to be some raw feelings that might come up for this thing, Scorpio, for your person or for you. But if anybody can bring it to the surface, it would be you, Scorpio. You know how your energy works. You know, pulling all those secrets and stuff from deep down. You know, bringing that darkness up to light. But Scorpio, that too. If you're helping someone, that it really makes you a wonderful healer. You know, you can bring things to light. You know, because people have so much repressed stuff. You know, that we're trying to unpack on this journey here. So, yeah, that's I'll leave that there. You know, that's tough, and I'll just leave that there, Scorpio. stay safe out there with just, you know, if this is resonating with you, be safe out there, you know. And I know that oh, I mean, my cancer energy is almost coming out here. Yeah, just stay safe out there, Scorpio, and know that if you are having trouble raising that vibration, you know, this is me putting my arm with you. This is me sitting with you. If you ever, in Scorpio, last thing, excuse me, if you, I'm trying to see how can I say this without tearing up here. If this is just be compassionate with yourself. That's really, if I can, you know, I would never tell you what to do, but if I could ask one thing of you, be compassionate with your person and with yourself during this whole thing, because this is a lot. So yeah, that's all I got for you, Scorpio. I will catch you on the next one later.